The year is 1870. A 31-year-old man in Cleveland controls just 4% of America's oil refining. 10 years later, 90%. By 1904, he controls 91% of oil production, 85% of final sales, and has a net worth equivalent to $400 billion today, richer than Bezos, Musk, and Gates combined. His name was John D. Rockefeller. But here's what's truly terrifying. When the government broke up his monopoly in 1911, he didn't lose. He actually got richer. And the system he built? It didn't die. It evolved, it spread, and it controls your life right now. Every gallon of gas you pump, every package Amazon delivers, every Google search, every pharmaceutical you take, they all use the same playbook Rockefeller perfected 150 years ago. This is the story of how one man built the architecture of modern corporate control, and why you can't escape it. The birth of a system. The setup. John D. Rockefeller was born in 1839 to a conman father and a devout Baptist mother. This combination, ruthless pragmatism meets moral certainty, would define everything he built. He genuinely believed God had chosen him to organize American industry. In 1859, oil was discovered in Pennsylvania. Thousands rushed to drill. Boom and bust. Chaos. 20-year-old Rockefeller was working as a bookkeeper. He saw something different. Everyone was drilling. Volatile, risky, dependent on luck. But someone had to refine that crude oil into kerosene for America's lamps. That was the real business. In 1863, Rockefeller invested $4,000 in a Cleveland refinery. Within 2 years, it was the city's largest. But Cleveland had 30 refineries. Competition was brutal. This is where Rockefeller invented the playbook that runs our world today. Innovation number 1. Vertical integration. Most refineries just refined oil. Rockefeller asked, why am I paying other people for barrels, transportation, warehouses, and distribution? What if I just owned it all? He bought the barrel factories, built his own tank cars, purchased warehouses, created distribution networks. The result? While competitors paid 25 cents per barrel, Rockefeller made his own for 15 cents. He negotiated secret railroad rebates. The railroads actually paid him to ship his oil and charged his competitors more. Rockefeller could sell kerosene at prices that bankrupted competitors while still making profit. Innovation number 2. The Cleveland Massacre. In 1872, Rockefeller launched what historians call the Cleveland Massacre. Over 3 months, he approached every refinery owner in Cleveland with an offer. Sell to me at fair market value, or I'll destroy you. If they agreed, he paid well. If they refused, he launched a price war selling below cost. His competitors hemorrhaged money on every sale. By the end of 1872, Rockefeller controlled 25 of Cleveland's 26 refineries, from 4% to 25% of Americans' capacity in 90 days. This was the blueprint. Make an offer. If they refuse, destroy them economically. Buy the ruins. By 1879, Standard Oil controlled 90% of American refining. The master stroke. Rockefeller faced 2 problems. Monopolies were becoming illegal, and he was the most hated man in America. In 1882, his lawyers created something revolutionary: the Standard Oil Trust. Standard Oil of Ohio couldn't legally own companies in other states, but a trust could hold stock in all of them. This was the first major corporate trust in American history. It became the template for every monopoly that followed, and invented the holding company structure. The trust didn't produce anything. It just owned other companies. Sound familiar? Berkshire Hathaway, Alphabet, Meta, Amazon. They're all descendants of Rockefeller's legal innovation. By 1904, Standard Oil controlled 91% of refining. Rockefeller was worth $400 billion in today's dollars, the richest individual in modern history. The brilliant defeat. In 1906, journalist Ida Tarbell published her exposé on Standard Oil's tactics. In 1911, the Supreme Court ordered Standard Oil broken into 34 separate companies. This should have been Rockefeller's destruction. Instead, it was his greatest triumph. When Standard Oil broke up, Rockefeller still owned shares in all 34 companies. Standard Oil of New Jersey became Exxon. Standard Oil of New York became Mobil. Standard Oil of California became Chevron. Before the breakup, Standard Oil stock was worth around $600 per share. After, the combined value exceeded $2,000 per share. Rockefeller's wealth tripled. And here's the kicker. Those 34 companies have spent the last century merging back together. Exxon and Mobil merged in 1999. The monopoly that ended in 1911 has quietly reconsolidated over 100 years. Act 3. The system replicates. The real legacy isn't Standard Oil. It's the playbook every dominant corporation now uses. Amazon. Vertical integration 2.0. Amazon controls the entire supply chain. Warehouses, delivery, payment processing, and cloud infrastructure that hosts its competitors' websites. Amazon Web Services generates $90 billion annually. Amazon also perfected horizontal consolidation. Over 100 acquisitions. And when it can't buy a competitor, it copies their products. Third-party sellers report sales data to Amazon, which creates Amazon Basics versions and promotes them above the originals. This is Rockefeller's price war, updated for algorithms. Google, the digital trust. Alphabet is a holding company owning Google, YouTube, DeepMind, Waymo, and dozens more. It's the Standard Oil Trust for the digital age. Google has 92% search market share, higher than Standard Oil's 91% peak. But Google isn't considered a monopoly because the product is free. You pay with data instead of dollars. Rockefeller would have loved this. A monopoly so complete that users don't realize they're paying. Pharma. Regulatory capture. Rockefeller didn't just compete. He shaped the rules. He lobbied for regulations favoring Standard Oil. Today's pharmaceutical companies copied this. They fund the FDA through user fees, lobby for patent extensions, and essentially write their own regulations. Control the regulators, control the market. Finance. The holding company lives. JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, all holding companies owning dozens of subsidiaries. When Dodd-Frank tried regulating banks after 2008, this structure made it nearly impossible. Rockefeller solved this problem in 1882. Banks copied it 130 years later. The final innovation: weaponized philanthropy. In 1913, Rockefeller created the Rockefeller Foundation with $250 million. On the surface, charity. But look deeper. The foundation avoided estate taxes, controlled which universities received funding, and bought legitimacy. The most hated man in America became a beloved benefactor. The Rockefeller Foundation funded modern medical education, establishing the pharmaceutical-centered model of medicine we know today. Today, every billionaire uses this playbook. Gates Foundation, Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, tax avoidance, legacy building, and policy influence. all in one. Rockefeller invented it. Modern billionaires perfected it. Act 4. You can't escape. The invisible cage. Here's what makes the Rockefeller system brilliant. It's designed to be invisible until you're already trapped. You buy gasoline from Exxon or Chevron, Standard Oil descendants. You shop on Amazon, vertical integration. You search on Google, 92% market share. You take pharmaceuticals developed through a Rockefeller-shaped medical system. You bank with institutions using his holding company structure. The wealth extraction machine. The average American spends $4,000 a year on gasoline, $3,000 a year on Amazon, $5,000 a year on healthcare, and $4,200 a year on internet and tech. That's $16,200 annually flowing into companies using Rockefeller's 150-year-old tactics. Over a lifetime, that's $810,000 of wealth transfer. And you cannot escape it. You could refuse gasoline, but you need transportation. You could boycott Amazon, but its prices make alternatives nearly impossible. The uncomfortable truth. Here's what Rockefeller understood. The system isn't evil. It's efficient. Before Standard Oil, kerosene cost 58 cents per gallon. After Rockefeller's efficiencies, 8 cents. An 86% price reduction. Amazon delivers in 2 days. Google answers questions in milliseconds. The system delivers value. The problem isn't that it doesn't work. It's that it concentrates wealth at the top while delivering efficiency at the bottom. You get cheap gasoline and fast shipping. Rockefeller's heirs get trillions. Both things are true. So, what do you do about a system you cannot escape? Option 1. Accept it. Understand that consolidation is a feature of advanced capitalism. Use the efficiencies. Accept that wealth concentrates. Option 2. Resist it. Support antitrust enforcement. Buy from small businesses even when it costs more. Vote for politicians promising to break up monopolies. This is noble, but exhausting. Option 3. Understand and position. If you cannot escape the system, benefit from it. Buy stock in the denominators. Amazon, Google, Exxon, Pfizer. Own the extractors instead of being extracted from. This isn't investment advice. It's pattern recognition. The legacy. John D. Rockefeller died in 1937 at age 97. The Rockefeller family still exists. The family wealth, estimated at $11 billion, is spread across hundreds of trusts still shaping policy 150 years later. Rockefeller once said, "Competition is a sin." He meant it theologically. Competition is wasteful. Consolidation is righteous. Monopoly isn't theft. It's the natural end state of efficient markets. The end state. 150 years later, we live in Rockefeller's system. Amazon, Google, Meta, Exxon, Pfizer, JP Morgan. 3 to 5 dominant players in every industry, all using his playbook. The consolidation continues. Every year, fewer companies control more. Every year, the system gets harder to escape. Final thoughts. You cannot escape the Rockefeller system, but you can see it. The question isn't whether you participate. You already do, every single day. The question is whether you participate consciously or unconsciously. Rockefeller built a cage so large, most people don't realize they're inside of it. Now you do. What do you do with that knowledge? That's up to you.